Thank you for joining us. This is in the orange attack path. This is technique number 2, clear text passwords in files. So from the previous technique, we created an employee list from ensign.edu. We generated a username list from that employee list. We built a simple password list of about 4 passwords. Then we used Zap to what they call fuzz the website or brute force the website with the lists that we provided. And then we found that the account Braley.ogden had a bad password and we were able to log in. So going back to that login, Braley.ogden at windomain.local and winter 2022 was the password with capital W, and we were able to log in. No, we're not. I must have typed the password incorrect. So we're logged in. So now we need to find an exploit for QDPM. And if we go back to the web application, we notice that QDPM is version 9.1. So I would go to Google and type exploit, the application name, and the version. And as we skim the exploits that come up from Google, we will find this one that is a remote code execution vulnerability after you are authenticated to the application. I'm the author of this because I took the previous exploit, which came out in 2020. The person who wrote it for Python version 2. I rewrote it for version 3 and republished it. So as you can see, there's a CVE number listed here, but that is not mine. It is the original author who created it. So with the exploit, we can find it in a couple different locations, but on exploit.db, as we read the website, it does say EDB verified, and that's if the exploit.db staff has verified that the vulnerability is accurate and does work. The next one is next to exploit, you see the download icon. You can download the exploit or view it in a JSON output. And then on some of these exploits, you can see that you can download the vulnerable app. It's nice to be able to download the vulnerable app because you can actually install that on Kali or wherever you need to put it to study it and understand it. Another way to look up these exploits is on Kali. Kali actually has an offline copy of exploit.db located under user share exploit.db. A tool that they've created is called searchsploit. This searchsploit, and followed by the keyword of the application you're searching for, like QDPM, will bring up the various exploits in a list that you can use. The one that we're interested in is 5175.python, the remote code execution RC authenticated. And that comes up in our list and it tells us the location. Notice that the path does not have an initial slash. Remember that these files are located under /user share exploit.db /exploits /php web apps, etc. So you do have to go place where the offline copy is located, one more folder, and then what shows is the path and the exploit title. Why would you want an offline copy of exploit.db? If you're on site with a client or contracted, their web page filter may block the download. For example, I'm using a computer that has Sophos installed on it, and it automatically blocks exploit.db. Also, at the client location, as you download these files onto whether it's their box that they provide or not, the site could be flagged. so it could be blocked. Or when the exploit hits the box, it'll be flagged as malware, and you're tipping your hat towards the blue team that you are conducting these style of attacks. Be careful with local EDR, XDR, or AV as it detects the activity, and also across the network. Network scanning is becoming popular as a file passes through a gateway or a firewall. So when you download an exploit from ExploitDB, you may not be able to just automatically execute it. If you look at the exploit, you may find that it introduces line breaks, how it is stored by ExploitDB. So you need to go through and clean it up. Other things to be conscious of is sometimes the authors of those exploits will leave in hard-coded usernames, passwords, or IP addresses. You need to go through and remove those, and also be conscious. I haven't found something yet on ExploitDB, but you are trusting somebody else's code, so make sure you review it and understand what that code is doing. And then validate the execution does not have any errors. So we're going to go ahead and use the exploit. We're going to authenticate as Braley Ogden at windomain.local, or we're going to create another account and use it for the exploit. Notice that in the command, there are 3 parameters. So I'm going down to the black box here. You execute the exploit, and then you do -URL, and make sure the URL ends with a trailing slash, or else it will give you an error. Then you indicate the user that you will be using and their password. And make sure the script, if you execute it this way, has read-write-execute permissions. If you do not have read-write-execute permissions, you may have to put Python 3 in the front, and then v2.py, or the name that you call it the exploit, the name of the exploit. When you execute it, if it runs correctly and it finds a My Account page, it will give you the path of where the backdoor is uploaded. So you can copy this URL into your browser, and that is your backdoor. That is all for this video. I'm going to create another video as we walk through the exploit and finish this technique on searching for configuration files. Thank you. Have a good day.